Hey guys, the Maniac back again, bringing you another video. Now today we have another article by The Local, and it is about why Germany could see an end to its teacher shortage. Now already looking at this, I mean, Germany is hungry. Look at these ads that pop up. Germany is desperate for teachers. One of the reasons is because, well, to become a teacher in Germany, it takes like 8 years or something. It's a ridiculous amount of time, something similar to a doctor. And it just seems stupid. I mean, really? It's like, what are you doing? Making PowerPoints? Teaching 14-year-olds? It just seems, honestly, a bit ridiculous. And I can already predict, in a few years' time, especially because it is an information. You're essentially giving information the kind of job that it is. It's probably just going to turn into like some sort of managerial AI kind of job instead, where you're essentially monitoring students interacting with an AI personally customized for them to learn. We'll get into that later, but let's go through the article. The understaffing in Germany's primary schools could be over as low childbirth rates create an oversupply of teachers, a new study has predicted. So, unsurprisingly, Germany has low child rate. It's a low child rate country, like most Western countries. Maybe they should solve that instead. Like fixing why people don't want to have kids. It's only probably one of the most important aspects of one of people's lives. And yeah, how about you solve that first? Uh, Pretty big problem, honestly. But we'll continue on. The study, which was conducted by the Bertelsmann Stiftung, suggests that the burden on teaching staff will be significantly lower in the coming years than it currently is. Though Germany is currently tackling a major shortage in the education sector, there could be an increasing surplus of qualified teachers over the coming years due to the lower rates of childbirth in 2021. By 2035, the study predicts there could be over 45,800 more qualified teachers than are required to cover teaching needs in primary schools in Germany. So, like 11 years away, a bit ridiculous. So, great. The problem's gonna be solved in 11 years. Like, come on. That's significantly higher than the estimate that came from the Conference of Ministers of Culture, KMK. At the most recent conference at the end of 2023, state ministers predicted a surplus of 6,300 primary school teachers by 2035. According to the study's author, Klaus Klemm and Dirk Zorn, the high number of additional teachers won't necessarily make it difficult for graduates in this field to find work. Instead, the surplus can make it easier to implement all-day school programs or to funnel extra staff in the socially deprived areas. In addition, primary school teachers could be trained to teach children in higher years at school. Low birth rates. Amid a general shortage of labor in the German economy, the education sector has repeatedly been named as one of the areas with the largest skill gaps. Back in early 23, a poll by the teacher unions Verbenbildung und Erziehung. I don't know if I'm butchering. Feeling like I just butchered it again. Found that more than 50,000 teaching positions have been left open in German schools. Of the schools surveyed, 57% said they had at least one open position they were unable to fill, with a quarter of those affected saying that between 6 and 10% of the positions were vacant. So they need teachers. They currently need teachers. But this is the thing about Germany. They operate so slowly. So, in my opinion, if you wanted to have a better education system, just in any country, you got to see what is taking up children's time these days. Because they can either study or they can do something else. And so, what most of them do these days is they go on TikTok, they go on Instagram Reels. The attention span is so much shorter than it was 10 years ago. So, you have to really start to gamify the education system. Because if you don't, you are going to get a lot of students who maybe 10 years ago would have done better, but now they've kind of been socially programmed to only want, that dopamine hit every 5 to 10 seconds. And if you're boring as a teacher, then it's over. You're done. So they have to really kind of change the education system, make it more interactive, I say. Anyway, we'll continue. The urgency of the current staffing situation had led to a spike in underqualified teaching staff working in German schools, and has prompted the government to create new routes for skilled teachers to enter the country from abroad. However, according to the Bertelsmann study, demographic shifts could also hold the solution to this growing issue. While 795,500 children were born in Germany in 2021, number of births dropped to 738,800 in 2022. It is projected to be just around 689,300 in 2023, the report reveals. The decline of more than 100,000 births mean that the number of pupils will fall more sharply 2028 than assumed in the KMK forecast. There are still some elements of uncertainty. However, while migration forecasts are factored in, the authors didn't account for a mass influx of refugees due to unforeseen situations like war or natural disasters. So, when it comes to the future of teaching as well, I feel like this is what it's going to be. It's going to be, well, for like a private school or a school, I feel like whichever country implements this first is going to see massive results. From the day they start school to the moment they end, they will have like some sort of AI monitoring how they perform, how they learn, and then they'll get individual crafted material pending to how they learn and how they absorb information essentially. So that seems just like what the reality of how AI will be used in the future, because everybody learns a little bit differently, and if essentially this machine can figure out how you learn as an individual and use that obviously alongside some sort of teacher guiding you, then that would probably be able to you'll probably be able to optimize your learning using that kind of artificial intelligence. I feel like that will generally be the future, and it'll probably be some sort of really rich school which implements that first. But whoever does figure out like how that operates, I'm assuming you would AI would make you do a whole bunch of tests, see how you absorb information. The school who does that first, or the guy who makes that, is gonna make millions because that's gonna be wanted everywhere once people see how useful it is. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Looks like Germany is going to see a teacher surplus because they're not having any kids in 11 years, of course. So hold on till then. But if you like the video, give it a like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.